I apologize for showing up unannounced. I've been trying to call your staff. They won't return my phone calls. So let me ask you, after your comments about the president, do you feel that voters are owed a better explanation than just, I misspoke?
I think that, as I stand by my statement, that I misspoke and I apologize.
Okay, and who are you apologizing to?
You know, I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
I apologize. We talk to you all the time. You're a very forthcoming guy. Who's telling you not to talk and to handle it like this?
I stand by my statement that I wrote, as you have, and I misspoke and I apologize.
Was it that you thought it would go over well in Elbert County where folks are very conservative and you'd never say something like that in the suburbs?
I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
Is there anything that I can ask you that you'll answer differently?
You know, I stand by my statement that I misspoke and I apologize.
Thank you, Congressman.
Never breathe a word of hate. Let the love that binds us constantly remind us of the one life that we are. Let's love and celebrate.
We shall overcome. Though I join hands so often with students and others behind jail ball singing, we shall overcome. Sometimes we've had tears in our eyes when we join together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome. Oh, before this victory's won, some will have to get thrown in jail more, but we shall overcome. Don't worry about it before the victory's won. Some of us will lose jobs, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome. For the victory's won, some will be misunderstood, called bad names, and dismissed as rabble-rousers and agitators. But we shall overcome. I tell you, Bob, we shall overcome because God from all the universe is Lord, but it seems so much. We shall overcome because our eye is right. No lie can live. We shall overcome because we live on the land. Overcome. With this faith, we will go out and observe the oceans of despair.
Hello, Facebook.
Bring new light into the dark
Twitter.
chambers of pessimism.
Welcome,
we will be able to rise from the fatigue of despair.
Let's talk about it, y'all. And that's Dr. Martin Luther King already talking about it.
And making it so. And so as I leave you this evening, I say, walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the corner.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Hello, Facebook. Welcome, Google. What you talking about, Twitter? Welcome, YouTube and internet listeners all around the world to Spreaker's most informative political talk show. Let's talk about it. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and joining me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed is my beautiful niece, Miss Jacqueline. Well, the well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. How y'all doing, y'all? You know, I'm always kind of a happy person and stuff, and I try to shed that light all the time. But before we get started, I want to take just a moment and play for you Harry Hippie in our attempt to salute the Bostonians, their community, their city, their state, and the people from all around the world that came there for Patriots Day and the oldest marathon in the world. Is it not, Jackie? Jackie?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I said I was going to take a moment here and play Harry Hippie and show solidarity and salute the Bostonians, their community, their state, and the people that came there from all around the world to show our love and our support to for the oldest marathon in the world, is it not?
Yes. Well, not the oldest in the world, because of course the Greeks did the first one. That's where we get marathon from.
Hey, Jackie, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackie, I want that to be your word of the night.
Marathon?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, that's one of my favorite words. Okay.
Thank you. You know, I didn't know that came from the Greeks. So
you don't know the story of marathon?
No, I don't, and I want you to say it.
Okay, so at the end of the show, I'm going to tell it. It's a great story.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. And you see, I learn right along with our listeners, and every now and then I tap a little button inside of you and bring out another great informative thing. But we are the most informative show, are we not?
We are indeed. Yes, we are. That's our job.
And that's what we do. We inform. And so I'm already excited, Jackie. I can barely wait till the end of the show.
Yes.
You never asked me nothing about no marathon. And now I find out I have chosen your word of the week. I don't know if you had one, but it has been replaced because now
this is the new word of the week. Yes.
Okay, so although Boston is not the oldest marathon in the world, it is the oldest one.
The oldest marathon in this country.
In this country. Thank you very much, Jackie. And so, y'all, if you just heard what Jackie said, then we got something to look forward to tonight at the end of the show. And we always do. But right now, let me take a moment and play this. I'm sorry, I did not mean Harry Hippie. Y'all forgive me, okay? I'm so excited. Jackie's show schedule gets me all excited. And so while I'm loading the song that I want to play, let me tell you tonight's subject. Tonight's subject is a coward's tool. That is so perfect, Jackie. You always do such a great job with coming up with these subjects, but I think this one is really heartfelt.
Yes.
And so, in salute to once again the Bostonians, their city, their state, their people, and the people all over the world that came there for the oldest marathon in this country. I think it started in what was it, Jackie? 70?
I don't know. I think it was in the 1880s.
Yeah, it was 1896 or something. The first marathon that was ran. We'll get that information because we do want to inform you correctly. Okay. And we'll grab it off the internet here in just a second. But it is the oldest marathon in this country. And it was Patriots Day in Boston yesterday. And a lot of businesses were closed, everybody but the bars. And they had a great celebration going on there until this coward came out with his coward tools. Okay, so once again, tonight's subject is a coward's tools. And now let me play He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother in salute of those who were injured and died in Boston yesterday.
The road is long with a many winding tongue that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong. He ain't brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he would not encumber me. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. If I'm a leaning at all, I'm a leaning with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on the way to there, why not share? And the love doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He's my brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Okay, y'all, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and as I said before, joining me to help me talk about it and helping me to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. Jackie, are you there? Say hello to the folks, please.
Hello, peoples. I am here and I am ready to talk about it.
And the crowd and the chipmunks just welcomed you too. And the chipmunks, the chimpanzees. Okay, Jackie. So let's get right to it, baby. Where you want to start? Let me tell
let's start with the Boston Marathon itself, okay?
All right. Why don't you...
before we went to the song, you were talking about it being the oldest marathon in the world, and I just want to give everybody the info on that.
Okay, very good.
All right. The Boston Marathon is the oldest annual marathon in the world.
Oh.
It dates back to 1897, when it was first run, and was inspired from the 1896 Olympics event.
Okay.
And so after the 1896 Olympics event of the marathon in Boston, they decided that they would have a marathon every year.
Okay, so I was halfway right.
Yes, you were, and I am extraordinarily impressed.
I love you so much, Jackie. You never fail to get a laugh out of me. And I just have to tell the audience, I love my niece. So even when she talking that monkey talk to me, y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Monkey talk, you know.
I called her today to ask her a few questions about the show, And boy, she was in a pissant mood, and she was talking that monkey talk to him, and I had to stop and say, "Yo, what's up with you?" And she said,
I just got to let everybody know that on show day, I do not want to be disturbed because I'm working. Okay?
"That's right.
It's working.
Yeah,
And
don't
see,
bother her."
Everybody in our family knows that Tuesday is show day and I'm working, so don't bother me. But they are all calling me.
Okay, like your mama. Hey, Jeannie.
6 of the days.
Hey, Jeannie. She probably up in her bed listening right now.
Yeah, but to say 6 of the days in the week, but it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday
That everybody got a call.
That they want to hear your voice. I just wanted to hear your voice, child.
So they need to tune in to Let's Talk About It.
Well, Jackie and I talked till 3 in the morning this morning, and guess you would win $1 million. No, if the prize was $1 million, you would not win because you would never guess in a lifetime what Jackie and I talked about till 3.
I cannot believe she's going to tell that. Don't tell that.
We talked. I'm gonna tell it.
People will know that we're nerds if you tell them.
Oh, they don't. No, they are. It will confirm that you are a nerd. They know I'm not a nerd. But I do play golf, and I love golf. And Jackie and I talked till 3 in the morning. Let's put your nerd hats on, Brenda and Jackie. We talked till 3 in the morning about golf, how much we love it. We talked about the Big Bertha Club. Honey, we talked about everything. And the broom.
I am ruined.
And the broomstick putter. We talked about all of that shit. So now you know Jackie and I truly can put on a nerd hat, but I love playing golf. Jackie has never played, but I got her hooked anyway. All right.
Shame on you. Now my reputation is ruined.
Yeah, well, it wasn't much, but it was yours.
I beg your pardon.
Jackie, it wasn't much, but it was yours, and I have ruined it. Well,
I beg your pardon. I had a fabulous reputation.
Tony Williams, welcome to the chat room, DJ Tony. Tony Williams, DJ Tony Sanchez, he put on my page the other night, and I'm not going to even get into this whole thing, but it was absolutely hilarious. This video went up on Wednesday, and it had over 10,000 hits by Thursday or Friday night. And DJ Tony put this thing on my page, and it was a poor little puppy that the name of the video was That Last Nut. It was a poor little puppy getting him some puppy punani, and he died on the downstroke. And so it has gotten crazier
Look, we're getting ready to talk about the.
It's gotten crazy ever since. I'm just having one of my crazy fun rants before you get started.
Stop. You down.
I just want to say we love you.
Oh my God.
I love you, DJ Tony. Thank you for that video clip. I just want to thank him one more time. All right, Jackie, let's get started with the Boston bombing.
I don't know if I can after that.
Oh, of course you can. You know all about puppy poo.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you know all about puppy poo, Nani. Come on.
No, I don't. Okay, stop it. You better stop it right now. I'm gonna have to go.
Well, you do
All
know
right.
about duck.
No, stop it.
You crazy. She
Quit.
named this story last week, y'all. Now she's trying to act like she don't know.
We're talking about something serious. Guys, that's the hard thing. When you're working with an insane person, it's hard to get this.
Welcome, David Capers. He said, "Oh, we going there, huh?"
No, we're not going there, Dave.
Let's get started, Jackie. We are nuts. She always tells me that I'm insane, but I don't mind. I know I'm insane.
Oh my God.
Come on, Jackie. Let's get serious now, and let's talk about this coward.
I'm gonna try, B, but you just take it out of me. Okay.
We're gonna talk about this coward and his tools.
Okay.
Let's go with the Boston bombing.
All right. As I'm sure you all know by now, yesterday there was a bombing at the Boston Marathon, toward the conclusion of the Boston Marathon. 2 devices that are described as IEDs, that is improvised explosive devices.
I did not know what that meant. Say it again.
IEDs
Stands for what again?
Improvised explosive device.
I swear Jackie knows everything. Okay, go ahead,
Brenda,
Jackie.
that's out of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, I know, but I didn't know what IED stood for. Thank you for telling us. You just keep educating us. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
They were planted in 2 different trash cans about 100 yards apart.
Mm-hmm.
And they exploded at hour 4, just about hour 4 of the marathon, when all the amateurs were finishing the race.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Because the professionals had finished a couple hours before that.
Yes.
And the thing that I find most disturbing about this, not just that there was a bombing at this huge public celebration on a holiday in Massachusetts, Patriots Day, and celebrating the Boston Marathon and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was also that last portion of the race, the last mile, was dedicated to the victims of the Newtown mass shooting.
Yes.
And there was a group there from Newtown who were running in the marathon being 26.2 miles long.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And there were 26 victims in Newtown.
Mm-hmm.
And so a group from Newtown came and they ran in the marathon to honor the victims of that mass shooting.
Yes.
And this bothers me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not just a little bit, but a whole lot. This bombing made all sorts of statements that none of them are even marginally. I'm trying to find the right word for it,
mm-hmm.
because of course this whole thing was bad, but any statement that came, whatever point that the bomber wanted to make,
mm-hmm.
is lost.
Yes.
It is absolutely lost.
And when they find his ass or their asses, and they will, because I'm telling you, just wait till they track back who bought all them pressure cookers. You dead, dog.
Oh, Brenda, listen. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I wanted to say too, that it's believed that the bombs were made with gunpowder, that there were pressure cookers stuffed with gunpowder and shrapnel.
And see, Jackie and I grew up with pressure cookers. So as they said on one of the news shows today, if you don't know what a pressure cooker is, our mamas all had one in the 60s, 70s. This was before crock pots and microwaves, but it really cooked your food kind of fast and really tender and made it really good. But you sealed this thing and locked in the steam. So that's what a pressure cooker is, and it really was made with those. And I'm telling you, they're going to track this sucker right back to probably a Walmart where he bought all these pressure cookers. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay. And so the blast went off at about 10 minutes to 3 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
176 people were injured. 3 people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
It is the worst attack on U.S. soil since September 11th.
Yes.
And the FBI and all of the local police agencies are investigating.
Yes.
And they were, there was shrapnel in the explosive, to hurt as many people and cause as much pain as they could.
Yes.
And the doctors were talking about how at Children's Hospital they were pulling nails out of the flesh of little
Yes,
girls.
nails, and he put BB or some buckshots just a little larger than a BB, they said. So he had all this shrapnel just ripping through these people, they said, which is very painful.
Yes. And the youngest person to die of the 3 who have died thus far was an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And his mother is horribly injured as well.
Yes, she had brain surgery, and the little sister lost a leg.
Yes.
This is just horrible,
no one
Jackie.
has been arrested yet, but of course they're investigating. And I just want to say that if you were watching the news yesterday, as most of us were, you will be incredibly aware of the fact that most of the early reporting was wrong. The only thing that they got right, well, in the very beginning, was that there was a bomb that went off at the conclusion of the Boston Marathon. So we still don't know exactly who or why.
What, or what, right.
We know pretty much what.
Yes.
But people are talking about who's responsible for this, who's going to claim responsibility, and no one has jumped up yet to say, I did it, we did it, none of that, okay? We haven't heard a peep about that.
Well, these badasses don't never want to tell. Hey, but Jackie, I'll tell you what is happening. Excuse me for interrupting you. Let me put some of my Brenda White flavor in this. I'll tell you what is happening. The crazy groups overseas are calling to say, we ain't do that, dog. They do not want Barack Obama on their ass.
Well, see, Brenda, this is why, you know, it's hard for me to do this show with you because you always jump the gun.
Thank God.
And so I was about to say that the reason that nobody's jumping up to claim responsibility might be clearer if you played the Obama clip.
I would be glad to. I'll play it for you right now.
Thank you.
We still do not know who did this or why. And people shouldn't jump to conclusions before we have all the facts. But make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice. We will find out who did this, and we will hold them accountable.
That mean they gonna be droning your ass. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jackie.
Or the Navy SEALs will come to visit you.
Okay, or the Navy SEALs will come to get you.
You know, because, you know, one of the things about, too, the assassination or the execution of Osama bin Laden, the thing that really did is it let everybody know that this president ain't no joke.
He ain't no punk,
and if
Jackie.
you do something to hurt some Americans, he's going to get your ass if it takes
okay.
time.
We ain't got no punk ass president. That is for sure.
No.
And like I said, one group already called and said, yo, I want y'all to know right now, we ain't do that. You know, you used to have groups, Jackie, jumping up claiming, even when they didn't do it, they wanted to be known as badass and put the fear in you. But since Barack Obama has been in office, he has killed over 1,500 terrorists.
Yes.
So these boys looking for a place to hide. Now, they ain't jumping up bragging. You know, they used to jump up, Jack, and just brag because they wanted to. Dog, we should have done that. But they said it did it anyway. Ain't nobody saying shit now.
No. No, it's been incredibly quiet, and what has frustrated the intelligence communities is that they're going back over all of their intelligence, and they haven't even heard any chatter anywhere.
No, hey, no.
Nobody's talking about it.
No, I ain't do it. They they are. Welcome.
That comes back to the question of who could possibly be responsible for this. And I just want to talk about, you know, I know that people keep saying, oh, you shouldn't speculate. But at this point, that's what we have is speculation.
Well, as long as we don't speculate like Fox News, Jack, I'm okay. As long as we speculate with some kind of sanity, Fox News would just say any damn thing.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to Fox News.
I believe they all need medication.
Fox News.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You know I got to go there.
Yes, you do. Welcome to the chat room. Our co-host, Barry Jackson, who will be joining us around the 5 o'clock hour.
Okay. All right. So, anyway, because of the materials that this bomb was made of and the way that it was deployed and all of that, it is, in my opinion, and I am not an expert, okay? But in my opinion, and in the opinion of some other people who are experts, this points to more of a domestic terrorist.
That's how I feel too, Jackie.
Than a foreign one. It's because of the type of bomb, the way it was made, the way that it was deployed, and that it happened at the Boston Marathon on April the 15th, which everybody knows is tax day.
Mm-hmm.
And and also actually the actual date of Patriots Day is April the 19th.
Okay.
And April the 19th also has significance to the white supremacist groups with Ruby Ridge and all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you all will remember that Timothy McVeigh bombed the Oklahoma City, the Murrah building in Oklahoma City, the federal building, on April
right.
the 19th.
That's right.
So these dates have great significance in the world of the white supremacist militia movement, the anti-government right-wing movement. Okay, and so that's what has me convinced that this is domestic, and that it is.
It certainly feels that way, to me as well, Jackie.
Yes, it does. I mean, and it does to a lot of people.
Yeah. And they've been on a little tear here lately, you know.
Yeah, but however, if you tune into Fox News,
the news of all news.
Yeah, if you tune into Fox News this morning, I have to tell everybody too that I called Brenda yesterday because whenever there's something like some big news event, I just kind of go through the different news media places online and on television, and just kind of take a look at the reporting of the event from these different news agencies. And Fox News always wins the prize for worst information.
Okay.
They're always wrong, and the most ridiculous theories. They always, if you want to know what actually happened, do not watch Fox News.
Don't go there, dog.
When I started going through the news channels and I'm listening to all the different reports, blah, 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 I get to Fox News and they're talking about how there was a bomb that went off at the JFK library.
They don't get no facts.
I had just seen on NBC that what happened at the JFK library was an electrical fire. It was not an explosion or a bombing or anything like that. So all those reports about there being a bombing at the JFK library, those reports were erroneous. But on Fox News,
on the news of all news,
that the JFK library had been bombed. There were bombs unexploded all over the city. You know, I mean, the Saudis and the Mumus and the Kenyan terrorists were coming to get us. You know, I mean, that's what Fox News was giving us.
Okay.
Now, that last bit was an exaggeration, okay? But this morning, when I said the Kenyans and the Mumus, okay, but this morning on Fox News, they were talking about a Saudi student being a suspect, being questioned and detained, and is it Saudi? You know, I mean, they're pointing, you know, and I don't know why Fox News thinks that it's a good idea to already start pointing at Middle Eastern terrorists.
Because that's the kind of fools they are. You see, this is where the crazy white supremacist groups get away with stuff, because these idiots always want to point to some brown person, some alien. You know, when we got just as big of fools and as hateful and as mean and as vicious as anything that they, as any brown person or any alien overseas. And you know, Jackie, this is also how they are made such fools of, because their base of listeners are so dad burned dumb that they can sell them anything.
Well, I think that their base of listeners are so dad burn afraid. Now, I'm sure some of them are dumb.
Oh, most definitely. Now, but we talked about this last night. They do have some Harvard graduates.
That's right.
And that is amazing to me that anyone that could make it through Harvard could stand to listen to that mess.
Yeah.
That is amazing to me.
You know, people, I have a friend that I love very much. She is an artist and she is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
She and I can discuss everything in the world except for politics.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And I will never understand what informs her political views. I'll never understand it.
Well, Jackie, you know, I watch, and you probably do too. I watch The Cycle.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a brilliant reporter as, what's the Republican girl's name?
Who, Essie Cup?
Essie Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then you hear that wacky stuff come out of her mouth.
Yes, Sarah Elizabeth, yes.
Yes, every now and then she's a very good a media host. She does a good job, but every now and then she has that silliness come out of her mouth, and it's just amazing to me.
It is phenomenal, and that's why, you know, whenever somebody says, "Oh, these people are idiots," well, you know, define idiot. It is amazing, and it's just like I said with my dear friend, who I'm telling you, I love her. She is a brilliant, talented woman, but we cannot discuss politics. And so she and I, like years ago, agreed that we just wouldn't discuss politics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but we don't. But we talk about everything else in the world, and we agree on everything except for politics. How is that possible? Not everything, but we agree on a lot of things.
Okay.
But with politics, we just don't, you know, we cannot see eye to eye. And I'll never understand it as long as I live. And she and I have laughed about that too.
Yeah, and you know,
how can I be like this flaming liberal chick and politically, and she is this flaming conservative conspiracy theorist chick politically, but we as human beings get along so well.
Yeah, I'm just so very grateful that my parents raised me to live and let live and respect everybody's religion, their opinion. But she left me with, you know, a pretty strong mind to be able to look at a situation and say, yeah, that makes sense. No, that doesn't make sense. No, that doesn't sound true. You know, but it just appears to me that the Fox listeners and much of the Republican Party base, all of them, just spout plain damn foolishness and seem to have no more of a mind than a 6-year-old.
Oh yeah, well, that's another thing that later on in the show we're going to discuss the Republican Party base. Because, you know, what's going on with the Republican Party is just taking on fabulous proportions these days. And I want to talk about that a little bit, too.
Indeed it is.
Is it break time?
Yes, it is. It is past break time, so let's take one right about now. You are listening to the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. This is part of the crew of Let's Talk About It. Missing in action is still our girl Jillian Anderson, but she will be back as soon as she can. She got a new job over there in Australia, you know, and it's kind of running her around. But coming up, the last hour of the show from 5 until 6 o'clock, we will be joined by our new cohort, Mr. Barry Jackson out of Kansas City, Missouri, and we love him already. He has such a great sense of humor, Jackie. I cannot wait to have him join us. Okay, so y'all stick and stay. You're listening to Let's Talk About It. It is Tuesday afternoon, April the 16th, and we'll be right back to continue talking about it. All right? All right, y'all stick and stay. yeah, you want to get your ticket for the wildest train ride on the net. Coming up at 6 o'clock, join the Razor Blade Express with David Tapers, a.k.a. Dave the Ray. Honey, hold on to your wig and your pantyhose too, because this is the wildest ride you will ever take. Join the party train, y'all, at 6 o'clock with DJ David Tapers, a.k.a. Dave the Ray, my daddy boo-boo.
Be sure to get your ticket. Hurry on to the city.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be.
People killing, fathers lying, people stealing, mothers crying, brothers, sisters fighting, always over senseless violence. Medical companies fighting over rights to yours that could save 1,000 lives. Katrina, 9/11, wicked signs from the heavens. Where have all the blue skies gone? Pollution paints all horizons all year long. Travel just isn't safe anymore. Since 9/11, the people don't want to fly no more. We don't feel safe in our own land. There's murder at a college, just can't understand. Economy is getting very bad. People losing their homes, they are going mad.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be.
Troops still dying overseas. Innocent people dying senselessly. Steroids tore our sports apart. Our children looked up to them and they broke their hearts. Young man has a shootout at the mall. Kills 9 people himself. Where did we go wrong? Cancer and AIDS still have no cures. Viruses getting stronger than the drugs that cure.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be.
Terror and panic all across the world. Let's make it better for our boys and girls. TV is polluting our children's minds. This summer, which side will you occupy? The world is rated X. Just turn on the news and you will see what's next. People, we need to make things right. Let's not be responsible for own demise.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh,
Okay, you are back with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jackie Lambert, the crew of Let's Talk About It. And we are ready to talk about it again. That was my friend R&B crooner, Cheyenne Anthony. His version of Mercy, Mercy Me, 2012. Well, his song. I mean, it's not a version. Okay. All right, Jackie. So we're back. Let's keep talking about it.
Now we're gonna move along to what's going on in the Senate in reference to the gun law debate. Last week, the senators and some of those in the media were just cheering that filibuster was overcome so that they could begin debate on gun law legislation. And the vote count was 68 to 31. Yeah, 99. And everybody was acting like this was such an awesome thing. And I guess, it's an awesome thing that they're actually going to debate the law, but, that's their job.
That's their job. I don't know what they were so excited about. Well, because they're such idiots.
I don't understand these people filibustering even debate of a subject.
Well, they were proud of themselves, Jackie.
And if they're not going to do their job, why do we pay for them to be there?
They've been filibustering since Barack Obama came to office, so they were proud of themselves.
Oh, but just this, in my mind, just goes to show how ridiculous the discourse has become inside our Congress, in the Senate and the House. I mean, these people are chapping my butt. I mean, it just infuriates me.
It's absolutely crazy. They're not doing any work. They're just there getting a paycheck.
Yes, and I was so annoyed by it. And then that weekend, Saturday Night Live did a wonderful parody of what had happened. Mm-hmm. And this parody explains it better than I ever could. So if you'll just play that SNL clip, Brenda, I would appreciate it, because this goes right to the heart of the matter.
Very good. Here we go.
From the President of the United States.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, my fellow Americans. As you know, over the past few months, I have made gun control legislation a top priority for my administration, which is why I am so excited to announce that this week, the Senate voted 68 to 31 to begin debating the idea of discussing gun control. Let me say that again. They've agreed to think about talking about gun control. Amazing. Now, with me tonight are Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and Republican Senator Patrick Toomey. They both worked very hard together to bang out a bipartisan agreement. These men risked everything for this bill. I mean, Senator Manchin represents West Virginia, and he's proposing gun reform. He's going to lose his job. And Senator Toomey, this man is a Republican who is willing to make just the slightest compromise on gun control. He's going to lose his job too. But that's what it takes to achieve compromise. So, why don't you tell the folks at home what you've accomplished?
We'd rather not.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Tell them.
First of all, most Americans agree that we need stricter background checks. If our bill passes, no individual can purchase a handgun from a private dealer without being asked, are you a good person? So as a follow-up question, seriously, are you?
We're also hoping to limit the amount of ammunition you can carry in magazines. We did not do that.
But we have agreed to limit the number of guns you can shoot at once to 2. Mm-hmm. Anyone caught shooting 3 or more guns at the same time, we prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the punishment is we give you a 4th gun.
I know how that happened. It was a compromise, I think, yeah. So. Also, we're very proud of this. We were able to ban AK-47s from all coin-operated vending machines. And the Papa John's promotion, buy 2 medium pizzas, get a free gun, has been completely outlawed.
That's right. Well, except on weekends and during the Super Bowl.
Of course, this might go without saying, but none of these restrictions would apply to Florida. We don't know why. They definitely should, but they just don't. I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, because I know we type, Florida into the bill, but when we print it out, it's just not there. So look, is this bill what we wanted? No. Is it what the NRA wanted? No. But does it at least help in some small way? No, probably not.
We are confident that this bill will pass the Senate, and it will then go to the House of Representatives, where it will immediately get shot down.
That's right. And that is not a metaphor. No, they will literally throw the bill up in the air and shoot it with a gun. That's what it does. Yeah, C-SPAN gets a little rowdy sometimes.
So in summary, you're welcome. Yeah, I guess.
Jackie, I did not hear the SNL clip this week. I didn't hear that.
No, yeah, isn't that wonderful?
That's my first time hearing it. And that's exactly what it boils down to.
That is precisely what it boils down to.
Here they are cheering because we're going to let y'all discuss it. That's what you're supposed to be doing, discussing the nation's business and passing laws on it, making a decision, not standing up filibustering everything. If Barack Obama says, I want to raise the minimum wage, people are living in poverty, they're going to filibuster that. We ain't going to vote. We ain't going to even vote. And I'm going to filibuster to make sure that we can continue to filibuster that we ain't going to even vote on it. We ain't even to hear it.
Exactly. And I mean, it is preposterous. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it is cowardly.
Yeah.
And the thing about, the thing about that is that this show is entitled A Coward's Tool.
Mm-hmm.
And that bomb in Boston was a coward's tool.
Mm-hmm.
And these filibusters that they use in the Senate, those are a coward's tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I mean, it is absolutely disgusting. When you think about how there are so many things that could be done to help reduce gun violence in the United States, and how that is really necessary, and we have our senators, greasing up and bending over for gun manufacturers, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it is disgusting.
Jackie,
and
you
so
and I...
As you, and I'm sure everybody can tell, Jackie is really disgusted with this whole thing.
We talked about this last night, how disgusted we are with this whole damn matter. I mean, anybody else taking a bribe, if it's a governor, if it's, one of the state representatives,
if it's a cop,
but we allow our senators and our congressmen to sit up there and blatantly take bribes. That's the only reason they are fighting this gun law, because of the NRA.
Yeah, and may I just make a point about the bribery thing?
Yes, please.
I just wanted to say that the way that our election laws are written, what our members of Congress have done is that they have drafted laws to make it legal, to make this form of bribery legal. That's why nobody is going to jail, because what's being done is not contrary to the laws that are on the books. And if we want this stuff to end, we have to make them stop it. We have to make them change the law.
It is amazing. Jackie, we also spoke about the time. Now, they don't do this anymore, but that let us know that they are being bribed and they are being paid. Because we talked about the story of John Boehner. Once there was they were trying to get a law passed for the tobacco company.
Yes.
And John Boehner walked through the chambers of Congress as they passed the law and handed each one of them their $20,000 checks.
That's right.
From the tobacco company.
That's right.
So somebody had a fit about it, and so they stopped handing the checks out blatantly on the Congress.
On the floor.
On the floor. But that told us that that's how they do. And that was nothing but bribery, y'all. How in the world is John Boehner still on the floor of Congress, let alone being the speaker?
Yeah, and the thing about I believe that I told you that the Congress a few years ago under the George W. Bush administration, they passed a law that immunizes gun manufacturers from being sued.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the way that the tobacco companies were sued. So what happened with the tobacco companies? The Republicans took that as a lesson to prevent anyone from suing the gun manufacturers, because a lot of people, because that's something that some activists were looking at to try and curb these assault weapons.
As people started suing cigarette companies.
Right, exactly correct. So the Congress has prevented that. I mean, how come I can't get that kind of protection? I'm a citizen.
Okay, Jackie.
Wouldn't I like it if I could be immunized against any legal action by anyone?
It is blatant bribery done right in our faces, because that's exactly what's happening. The NRA is paying each Republican member, and got to be paying them 2, 3, or 4 Democrats that are refusing to vote this way, to vote yes on these new. We're asking for a criminal background check now, and I said this last week. They had someone representing the NRA on Chris Matthews' show on Hardball last week, and they were talking about how the NRA is training these robo school cops. Yeah. And Chris Matthews asked the question, well, how do you know that one of these guys, isn't going to flip out in school one day and pull his gun out of his holster and he starts shooting kids at school?
Yeah.
Oh, because we've done background checks on. We're doing thorough background. What? Chris Matthews burst into laughter. Ha! And deservedly so. He should have burst into laughter, because here we are now just trying to get universal background checks. And absolutely not. You're not going to check these people out. Why? Because it's all about the mighty dollar. They don't want to know if somebody is crazy. Or if
they don't want to know if they're criminals. And I have
they don't want to know if they're criminals.
Work very hard to make guns accessible to criminals.
You've already
I
made.
will tell you what I mean by that, because you guys will say, "Oh, Jack is just no." This is what I mean by that. A lot of the gun manufacturers on these assault weapons now have grips that will not take a fingerprint. Okay.
What?
So if you're out shooting up folks, and you forgot to put your gloves on for whatever reason, it's okay, because they have created a grip that will not hold a fingerprint.
Get out of here, right? Jackie.
Oh, yes.
I did not know
gun
that.
Manufacturers, the reason that this gun show loophole is so important to them is because that is how a lot of criminals get their gun.
Yes.
Because there's no background check or anything required. It's considered along the line of a private purchase.
Well, I think they need 6 more votes to get this law passed. And last night, or yesterday, I found out that one of the female Republican senators decided and announced that she would vote yes. What was her name?
Susan Collins of Maine.
That's right, Susan Collins of Maine. So she has made it known that she will be voting yes for these universal background checks. Yes. Now, we still have a couple of Democrats that's taking kickbacks. Yes, I said it. You're taking kickbacks. Why else? I mean, Jackie, we have to have insurance on our cars. We have to register our cars. You've got to have a license plate. And this is how they catch a lot of criminals.
Yep.
This is how they know when a criminal's driving a stolen car, because they can put in the license plate.
Exactly correct.
All of
Why
this
would
makes
we not? Thank you, Brenda. That is such a good point. Why would we not have the same controls for firearms?
yeah.
They're just as dangerous as automobiles.
This is not
Why
rocket
would we have
science.
the same controls? Yeah.
This is not rocket science at all.
No.
It just makes sense. Same reason why can't we have this health care? You know, why couldn't we? You have to get insurance on your car. Why don't they make it? Why didn't they want to make it so that you would have to pay a small fee, everybody throw in the pot, and everybody gets, or mostly everybody gets health care? Because whomever doesn't want something, they go up there and they punk these son of a guns, and they pimp them, and they pay money, and you vote this way. This is such a crying shame. I am so sick of this. You know, we've spoken about this next thing I'm about to mention, Jackie. Same thing. Margaret, what's the woman's name that went to prison for insider trading?
Martha Stewart.
Yes, Martha Stewart goes to jail for insider trading. But on Capitol Hill, they were doing it every day. You know, most of them are millionaires.
Yeah.
The bulk of senators and congressmen are millionaires.
Yeah.
Because of the insider trading they're allowed to do, because they are allowed to take kickbacks from the lobbyists. I mean, back in the day of Lincoln, when he was trying to get the slavery abolished, and the guys were running around dropping the money and shit, putting it in the hands of these guys that they want them to vote. They're still doing it. They're still paying, and it is a crying freaking shame.
Yes, it is.
That these bastards can get away with this, and anywhere else that a judge would lose his seat and go to jail if you found out he was taking bribes to rule in cases for the one who pays him the most.
That's right.
But here, our congressmen and our senators are allowed to take bribes. It's a damn crying shame. Now, Jackie, it is. Would you like for me to play the Michelle Obama clip for you, and then let's go to a break so that we can get.
Late.
Huh?
Yeah, I was about to say, well, we're running late.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because the Michelle Obama clip really brings this all home. Last week, the First Lady spoke in Chicago hold on a second. The First Lady spoke at a luncheon in Chicago that was hosted by Rahm Emanuel because they have put together a coalition of civic organizations and business leaders to invest in expanded opportunities for young people in Chicago's neighborhoods.
Well, hold on one second, Jackie. Before we play the clip and before we take a break and get our co-host Barry K. Jackson on the line, he wrote this in the chat room. The lobbyists aren't just paying the folks in Congress, but in most cases, the lobbyists are writing the laws.
That is true.
That's pretty deep, ain't it, Jackie?
No, but that is true.
Yeah, it's true. And thank you, Barry, for that quote. For that information. And we are going to be calling you up in just a moment and getting you on the line. Jackie, please continue.
Well, I was saying that the First Lady addressed a luncheon meeting in Chicago last week that was hosted by Rahm Emanuel, and it was sponsored by leading civic and business organizations that have come together to invest in expanded opportunities for young folks in Chicago's neighborhood. Because as everybody knows, the youngsters in Chicago are killing each other at a pretty stiff clip. They're shooting each other. And the First Lady's address was wonderful, and I had taken some excerpts from that because I think that what the First Lady does is that she puts her finger exactly on what is at stake here, what we're actually talking about here when we're talking about the need for stricter gun laws and things like that. Well,
as she almost cried.
Brenda, what? Stop it. Just play the clip, please.
Yes, I will, Jackie. I'm sorry. You didn't want me to say it? Look at her talking. That monkey talk to me again, y'all. All right, here we go with Michelle Obama.
Thousands of children in the city live in neighborhoods where a funeral for a teenager is considered unfortunate but not unusual. Where wandering onto the wrong block or even just standing on your own front porch can mean putting yourself at risk. Those are the odds that so many young people are facing in this city. Young people like Hydea Pendleton, whose funeral I attended back in February. And we all know Hydea's story. She was 15 years old, an honor student at King College Prep. She came from a good family, 2 devoted parents, plenty of cousins, solid godparents and grandparents, an adoring little brother. The Pendletons are hard-working people. They're church-going folks. And Hydea's mother did everything she could for her daughter. She enrolled her in every activity you could imagine, cheerleading, majorettes, the praise dance ministry, anything to keep her off the streets and keep her busy. And as I visited with the Pendleton family at Hydea's funeral, I couldn't get over how familiar they felt to me. Because what I realized was Hydea's family was just like my family. Hydea Pendleton was me, and I was her. But I got to grow up and go to Princeton and Harvard Law School and have a career and a family and the most blessed life I could ever imagine. And Hydea, oh, we know that story. Just a week after she performed at my husband's inauguration, she went to a park with some friends and got shot in the back because some kid thought she was in a gang. Hydea's family did everything right, but she still didn't have a chance. And that story, the story of Hydea's life and death, we read that story day after day, month after month, year after year in this city and around this country. So I'm not talking about something that's happening in a war zone halfway around the world. I am talking about what's happening in the city that we call home. This kind of violence is what so many young people like Hydea Pendleton are dealing with every single day. And those 2 boys charged with her shooting, this is the violence they were facing as well. And you have to wonder, what if instead of roaming around with guns, boys like them had access to a computer lab or a community center or some decent basketball courts? Maybe everything would have turned out differently. Maybe they would be doing their homework or taking jump shots or learning a new program instead of looking for trouble. Maybe if these kids saw some kind of decent future for themselves instead of shootings, there would just be fistfights, some angry words exchanged. And then maybe, just maybe today, more of our young people would be in classrooms and at jobs instead of in custody, facing even worse odds than they started out with. See, at the end of the day, this is the point I want to make. That resources matter. They matter. That what it takes to build strong, successful young people isn't genetics or pedigree or good luck. It's opportunity. And I know from my own experience, I started out with exactly the same aptitude, exactly the same intellectual, emotional capabilities as so many of my peers. And the only thing that separated me from them was that I had a few more advantages. I had adults who pushed me. I had activities that engaged me, schools that prepared me to succeed. I had a community that supported me and a neighborhood where I felt safe. And in the end, That was the difference between growing up and becoming a lawyer, a mother, and First Lady of the United States and being shot dead at the age of 15. Right now, my husband is fighting as hard as he can and engaging as many people as he can to pass common sense reforms to protect our children from gun violence. And these reforms deserve a vote in Congress. As he said, we can't stop all the violence in the world. But if there is even one thing we can do, even one step we can take to save another child or another parent from the grief that's visited families like Hadia's and so many others here today, then don't we have an obligation to try? But we all know that these reforms must be just one part of a comprehensive effort to rebuild our neighborhoods and build a better future for our children. You all know that this is a moral obligation. I think my husband put it best when he spoke to the people of Newtown, Connecticut back in December. And he said, this is a quote, "This is our first task, caring for our children. It's our first job. If we don't get that right, we don't get anything right. That's how, as a society, we will be judged. And by that measure, can we truly say as a nation that we're meeting our obligations?" That is the question my husband asked. Are we truly meeting our obligations to our children? It's a question we should also be asking in Chicago and in every corner of this country. It was the question weighing on my heart when I met with Hadia Pendleton's classmates on the day of her funeral. Dozens of them later spoke at the service, each referring to her as my best friend. And let me tell you, it is hard to know what to say to a room full of teenagers who are about to bury their best friend. But I started by telling them that Hadia was clearly on her way to doing something truly worthy with her life. I told them that there is a reason that we're here on this earth, that each of us has a mission in this world. And I urged them to use their lives to give meaning to Hadia's life. I urged them to dream as big as she did and work as hard as she did and live a life that honors every last bit of her God-given promise. So today, I want to say the exact same thing to all of you. I want to urge you to come together and do something worthy of Hadia Pendleton's memory and the worthy of our children's future.
Okay, Jackie, we are back. That was such a heartfelt speech. I'm sure the Republicans had to knock it though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they criticized her because they said that she's the first lady and she's not supposed to be talking about such things.
Them SOBs are insane.
She's supposed to be inserting herself into political conversation. So here we go.
Okay, y'all, welcome to the on the line, rather, not to the chat room. Welcome on the line, our cohort, Barry K. Jackson out of Kansas City, Missouri, for the FM radio station KKFI 90.1 FM. Hey, Barry, how you doing, baby?
Hey, life, health, and prosperity to you, and I hope that in the future I remember that to give that very same greeting every week.
Okay, well, the chimpanzees welcomed you too. Okay, so Barry, we gonna go ahead and touch on some of these topics, and then you just jump in there wherever you feel that you have to jump in. Now, okay. Jackie, let's go to Dr. Ben Carson, brilliant and unbalanced. I love that topic. I love the subject you gave him.
Dr. Ben Carson is famous because he's a famous neurosurgeon. Okay, mm-hmm. That is his job, and he wrote his autobiography, which was really interesting, and he's excuse me, I think that he is probably most famous for being able to detach Siamese twins that are attached at the head. Like most of those kids die. And he did one of the first successful surgeries of that type in South Africa many years ago. Well, Dr. Ben Carson has recently become a darling of the Republican Party and the Tea Party.
AKA the meth party, yeah.
And it is because he has issues with Obamacare. And it is also because he has he's a let me see. Okay, I'll put it this way, because I don't want to insult the man. Okay. He's, a religious conservative. Okay. And
AKA a fool.
Well, Brenda, that isn't. Look,
okay. All right.
Folks have the right to believe what they believe.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. But anyway, he's a hero to the Tea Party. And a couple of weeks ago, he appeared on Sean Hannity's show to insult the gay and lesbian community by comparing same-sex marriage to bestiality and pedophilia. Okay? And so he announced on last Wednesday that he was withdrawing as a commencement speaker at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Because the majority of the graduating class signed a petition asking the administration to uninvite him.
Oh, so it wasn't from the goodness of his heart to take the spotlight off of himself and put it on this great day of commencement. It was because they didn't want his ass.
Right.
Barry,
so in other words, they basically said, you're a brilliant surgeon, you have a compelling life story, and that's about as far as you need to go.
you operate on heads pretty good, but you a damn fool.
Yeah. In other words, you were doing fine with your hands until you opened your mouth.
I agree completely. I mean, Barry, when you look at this fool, I mean, who's missing Alan West right now? Nobody, because he just took his place.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolute idiot.
And of course, so he's joined the Impossible Three: Clarence Thomas, Herman Cain, and Alan West.
Yeah.
So, but and I've had a lot of white conservatives, hit me up on Facebook saying you really ought to check out his story, and I had to tell you something. First place, I got hip to him in the Final Call newspaper back in the 90s. Yeah, I've known about this man, and so you're just discovering him, and why? Because you've been watching fixed news.
Fixed news.
And I said, and you're making the typical mistake. You decide you're gonna try to decide who my role models should be because they have dark skin.
Yes.
And what you can do is the next time you get an urge to do that, stop and think about it. I'm talking to Barry. No, I shouldn't do this anymore because he's going to throw him right back in my face.
Yes.
And I said, and here's another thing. We've got a problem with doctors that they want to get into politics anyway. It's really a bad trend on the part of the GOP.
Absolutely. Now, Barry, we had a doctor here that put up a sign and made the news during the election or before Barack's first term was over. He put a sign on his door: if you voted for Barack Obama, you are not welcome in this office. I will not treat you.
Really?
And can you imagine the faces? I mean, the news team was standing outside of his office and patients were driving up, and I assumed that the man had some black patients, but the only patients that the news was able to capture their reactions were all white.
They had to be.
And they were absolutely in shock. But then you had those that said, well, if he's a fool like that, I don't want him doctoring on me anyway, as Festus can say.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. He put up a sign. If you voted for Barack Obama, you are not welcome in this office, and I will not treat you. And
my response would be, well, if that's your attitude, then you must be a quack anyway.
okay, I mean, can you imagine these men getting the degrees that they have and having absolutely no common sense?
Frankenstein.
Well, Barry, you know, I used to call Fox and Friends. Well, I still do. I call them Fox and Fools. But that's the first time I ever heard them called fixed news. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. I do. Okay, Jackie, let's move on down the schedule. The congressional insider trading.
Oh, yes. Because this is something.
Oh, I'm sorry. We missed our girl. Michelle Bachmann continues to embarrass her constituents. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, she can go She can go after this. Because
she can go. Okay, very good.
About the
All
Congressional Stock Act.
Okay.
Let's see. You know, everybody knows that Congress cannot agree on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you know something that happened very recently? That
What?
happened on Friday without debate?
What?
The Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, agreed to repeal a portion of the Stock Act that they passed last year. You know, the Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act that they passed last year.
Yeah, they're insider trading stuff.
Yeah, that insider trading stuff. Yeah.
So what are you
So they
saying,
passed
Jackie?
a law last year to make that illegal.
Right.
And it requires them to post disclosures of their financial transactions online. That's part of it.
Yes.
And the Congress hated that so much that on Friday, without debate, the measure was sent to the president's desk by unanimous consent. It took 10 seconds in the Senate and 14 seconds in the House.
You get out of here. Are you trying to tell me that they voted to reverse this law unanimously?
Yes, they did.
Has the president signed this thing yet?
No, the president has not signed.
We need to call the White House.
May I say something?
Yes. I'm mad now.
Yeah, I know. The president has not signed it. And a statement from the White House says that they have not said, that the White House has not said whether the president will sign the repeal or not. Now, I say to everybody who's listening, and everybody with a Facebook account or email or anything like that, to please email President Obama and ask him not to sign this piece of crap.
I will be making a sign tonight and putting it on Facebook.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we just sent letters to each one of these congressmen, and you do it, and we will all make citizens arrest.
Oh my goodness, Jackie. So they quietly behind our backs, as soon as they got embarrassed a year ago, they all voted unanimously to, yeah, we'll stop insider trading. Insider trading is against the law.
Yeah.
They put Martha Stewart in jail for it.
And not only that, the Martha Stewart case, that was Martha got screwed, okay?
That was bullshit.
I was hot about that, and I was like, a lot of people were mad at Martha Stewart for a lot of different things. But this was just no good. And I admire her very much for just saying, look, I'm going to go ahead and do my 6 months and get the hell out. And I give her all the credit in the world for that.
Well,
but it's what the Congress is doing is disgusting.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, Jackie. Well, we're not going to let this go. We're fixing to get started on this. I'm so glad that you gave us that information. These low down, no good, no hustle, backstabbing, dirty, no falutin' sons of guns. How many seconds you said it took them, Jackie?
It took 10 seconds in the Senate and 14 seconds in the House.
No debate.
They cannot take, it takes them 1,000,000 years to do anything for us. Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
if it's something that they want, that doesn't take any time at all. And I think that they ought to be busted out.
Oh, we're going to make a sign immediately after the show and start floating that sucker on the internet.
We need to put together an online petition.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but, they need to be reminded that 2014 is coming.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I mean, now you see, that.
I love it when Brenda's rendered nearly speechless.
Okay, Barry, you got to cut down on your noise in your background.
Yeah, I'm fixing to get on this bus. Hopefully it'll be a little quieter.
Oh,
okay.
Well, this is absolutely amazing, Jackie. Well, I am not going to let this rest. And if you had not told me this, I don't think we would have known, because they quietly did that stuff. You got no filibustering then.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable.
Buster, no, nothing. And it was reported that Eric Cantor on the House floor, Eric Cantor just brought this up out of the blue and asked for unanimous consent. And the reason they asked for unanimous consent, guys, is so that their individual votes are not recorded.
Oh, sookie now.
The way that you can kick their butts on that is simply this: that in order to stop a vote by unanimous consent, all it takes is for one of them to object. That's it. All it takes is so that means that no one objected in the House or the Senate.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Jackie, you just started that burn new war tonight. Because as soon as this show is over, I'm going to make one of my fabulous signs and start passing it through the internet. So I hope that you will stay with me for 15 minutes after the show and help me word this sign, and we're going to start this ball rolling. I be damn. Oh my goodness. All right. So Barry?
Yeah.
We're gonna let you go so that you can cut down on the background noise, so we can cut down on that.
Gotcha.
And we will hear back from you next Tuesday night.
Okay. Well, I just want to. But before I go, I do want to thank you for and you'd added something for me without me having to say it. And that's actually, we need to change the name of the Tea Party to the Left Party.
Yes, indeed. I love that. I saw
what comes out of their mouth, But anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'd like to stay longer, but we'll work something out next week.
Yes, we will.
Wonderful, because we got to have you for longer, Barry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we do. I don't care if we have to get you recorded and then Jackie and I have a good laugh behind you. But we absolutely love you and having you put your 2 cents in on this show, because you just got a great open mind, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
All right, baby. We love you.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Barry.
Bye-bye.
All right, so the monkeys and the crowd cheering Barry out. Thank you very much. And we're going to have Barry for longer times.
Because this schedule change has just really done everybody in. So we're still getting ourselves together for this.
Yeah, 4:00 in the afternoon. It's a crazy schedule, but Jackie and I could not drop this show, and due to our own personal lives and what was going on in our lives, we had to change our show time. But we're gonna get it right so that we can have Barry longer. I think what we're gonna have to do is have him in the first hour of the show, where he doesn't
fine with me too.
Yeah, so that he doesn't have to travel. All right, so now we're going to take a very short break, and Jackie and I will be back with you, okay? All right, you're listening to Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. We'll be right back.
This is Spreaker Web Radio.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Brenda Pearl, aka the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and I want to shed a little light for you about what's going on at Spreaker.com tonight. And what's going on is the triple threat in full effect, beginning with Dave the Rave Capers and that wild train ride called the Razor Blade Express from 6 until 9 p.m. And then from 9 until 1 a.m., it's Up All Night with Brenda White for the very best in jazz, R&B, soul, smooth hip-hop. And just to make you jump, I'm gonna sling some funk all upside your head. And if I am not able to please, then from 1 until 3 a.m., DJ Tony Sanchez, the Love Doctor, will supply your every need. So get ready for Spreaker's Thursday night triple threat in full effect, and we'll see you in the chat room right here at Spreaker.com. All times Eastern.
Trying to find my love.
If the music makes you move and you can dig the groove, then groove on. If you feel like you wanna make love under the stars above, then love on, love on.
Oh yeah, welcome back, y'all. That's Spreaker's Thursday night triple threat in full effect. We began with David Capers, then your girl Brenda Pearl, and then DJ Tony Sanchez. Same thing back to back again on Friday nights. So y'all don't want to miss it right here, okay? Spreaker's triple threat in full effect. All right, you are back with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jackie Lambert right here at Spreaker.com, and we are talking about it, and we got about 28 minutes to go. Okay, Jackie, what we're going to talk about now?
All right. Well, now we're going to get to our girl, Michelle Bachmann. And you guys know that we have something on Michelle Bachmann from time to time just because she's ridiculous.
Yes.
And we enjoy laughing.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so we're just being, kind of mean. You know, I mean, that's it. But I wanted to share this story with you guys that I found on the Huffington Post site yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Which I absolutely loved. And the story is entitled Jim Graves, who is the guy who ran against her for Congress last year.
Yes.
He says that constituents are embarrassed by Michelle Bachmann.
No shit.
The reason this caught my eye is that Brenda and I were having a conversation about some of these Tea Party types and how ridiculous they are, and aren't their constituents embarrassed by them? And then, of course, a few days later, I come across this story, so I just wanted to share it with you guys, okay? And if you want to, read the full story, it is on HuffingtonPost.com, okay? The story starts out that Representative Michelle Bachmann barely held on to her seat in the 2012 election. She defeated Democrat Jim Graves by just over 1% of the vote in one of the closest House races of the cycle. Now, mere months into Bachmann's new term, Graves is seeking a rematch in 2014, and this time he's confident Minnesota voters have reached a tipping point with the embattled Congresswoman whose antics have drawn criticism from members of her own party.
Absolutely.
Jim Graves says that people are tired of her antagonistic propagating gridlock, he said.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people come up to me and say, we're kind of embarrassed by our representation in Washington. Now, this guy, Jim Graves, he is a hotel executive, and he built up his business from the ground up, and he is, a rich business guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bachman outspent Graves by a margin of 12-1, but she only beat him by 4,300 votes.
That wasn't nothing.
Nothing. How do you outspend somebody 12-1 and only win by a little more than
by the hair of your chin.
Exactly. And so now you know that Ms. Bachman is in the news for all the wrong reasons, as usual. Her presidential campaign, her failed presidential campaign, is in the middle of an ethics investigation. And conservatives slammed her for questioning Barack Obama's personal expenses. Because you guys remember she went to CPAC and talked about how much of the taxpayers' money President Obama is spending. And of course, then upon examination, what she was talking about was what is spent for maintaining all presidents, and President Obama spends way less than George W. Bush ever did.
Okay.
And she's also been under attack for her comments about Obamacare killing people.
Yes. Crazy.
Death panels and stuff. And Mr. Graves says that the voters are sick of her showmanship and they want her ass gone, and he's going to do all he can to get her ass out. And one of the things that Ms. Bachman did earlier this year is that this is a woman who voted against the Violence Against Women Act.
Get out of here, Jackie.
And she was the only member of the entire congressional delegation of Minnesota to do that.
Jackie, are you kidding me?
I wish I were, Brenda, but no, I am not.
Oh, yeah, well, women everywhere going to bring that up. She will never get away with that.
Oh, no.
When the next election comes around,
they're going to just end with here was Ms. Bachman's campaign spokesman, Dan Coatman, said, it's 19 months away from the election, and Jim Graves is already stooping to personal attacks and slinging mud. How sad and desperate.
That's what politics is all about, honey. Bringing up your personal.
Not only that.
Your voting record. Yeah, it's going to get personal.
Understand that he's a spokesman for Michelle Bachmann. The queen of personal attacks and mud slinging.
The queen of personal attacks and mud slinging. And when she was running from the CPAC, from the reporter, when she was running from that reporter at CPAC, it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
She tells these lies, and then the minute somebody questioned her about those lies, and she's so submissive to her husband.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why she voted against the Violence Against Women Act, because you're supposed to be submissive to your husband. Her husband made her go to law school to become a tax lawyer so she could help him hide and cheat. And, and they wasting government money with this Pray the Gay Away clinic.
So, she used
do they still have this clinic open, Jackie? And are they still get money?
Brenda, as far as I know, they still have their clinic. Okay. They still have their,
and they get
and they still are getting their government subsidy.
$169,000 a year from the government, free shit, for their Pray the Gay Away clinic. DJ David Capers in the chat room says, call her Speedy. Yeah, because baby, she was trucking in them heels, and the reporter was just almost out of breath. That same craziness that this pill gives. What was the lie she told about the woman and the child being retarded?
It makes your child autistic or retarded or something.
Yes, I mean anything comes up out of as my grandmother used to say, if it come up, it'll come out.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't check any facts. She knows when she's lying, but she says that shit anyway. Absolutely insane.
Yes.
Well, we want y'all.
So anyway, that just, and I want the audience to forgive me for that story, but it just struck me as hilarious. And it's just because of a conversation that Brenda and I had. It's like, aren't her constituents embarrassed? Who votes for these folks?
Well, So this
is going to be interesting to see.
I am certainly not surprised, Jackie, that she's embarrassing them. I mean, her butt came very close when Barack Obama was running she came very close to losing her seat because she said, like Alan West, that, they should have a penetrating investigation on all the Democrats in Congress because basically they were communists.
Yes.
As Alan West. And then and she can get all sane when she wants to.
Oh, absolutely.
And as
frightening.
soon as her constituents said, how can you go on TV and say what you said? And boy, then she made a commercial. I'm so sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I didn't mean it. And she escaped.
Yeah.
And won by 4,300 votes.
But see, the thing about her district is simply this, is that she is in one of those districts that has been drawn to be a strong Republican district.
Oh, a
and
gerrymander.
If you are in a district that has been drawn specifically to skew Republican and you only win by a percentage point, and you outspent your opponent 12-1, oh, baby, you're in trouble.
Okay.
Okay, you're in deep doo.
Okay, Jackie,
so,
I know.
It's just like Barry just said, 2014 is coming. And a lot of these folks need to get their walking papers.
Yeah, we need to remind them that it's coming and remind them where they're going when it gets here.
Oh, absolutely. So anyhow, just like the story that we just did about them repealing this provision that they just passed last year because they were embarrassed into doing it, and now they're trying to do it quietly. You can't do anything quietly now because we have the internet.
We have the internet. Now, Jackie, right. I want to add to a word of the week. Would you explain to the audience the meaning of gerrymander?
Oh, we've already done this.
Well, do it again for me.
Well, do you want me to do it now?
Yes, please, because...
Okay, gerrymandering was named after a political operative named Gerrymander way back in the billion, I don't know. Way back in the whenever.
Yeah.
And he is the person who gave us the idea of drawing districts so that you would have your desired political outcome. Okay?
Okay. All right, so
that's all it is.
Cheating.
I mean, look up Gerald Mander online, and you can get all the info you need.
All right, thank you, Jackie, for informing us one more time. I appreciate that. Now, very quickly, can we talk about the Republican Party in chaos?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why when you said to change Michelle Bachmann thing, because this goes right to the heart too of the problems that the Republican Party is having right now.
Okay.
The Republican Party. They invited basically all the cast-offs from the Democratic Party into their party. Okay. When the Democrats in the 1960s championed civil rights legislation, they lost all those people that were called the Dixiecrats. Because if you'll all remember, the Democrats were the racist party until the 1960s.
Right.
When they started championing civil rights legislation and all that. And so all of those good God-fearing working-class white folks in the Democratic Party who loved racial politics, who racial politics was a big part of their identity, they left and they went over to the Republican Party.
And might I say to all the wonderful white folks on Republican and Tea Party side who might be my friends on Facebook, they always trying to tell me, did you know Martin Luther King was Republican? That was why, because back then, the Democratic Party was known as the racist party.
Exactly.
But I guarantee you, Martin Luther King would not be a Republican today. So y'all stop sending that shit to me.
Yeah, well.
It does not impress me.
Yeah, they do what they do.
Yeah, they do what they do.
And so that was the first plank with the Republicans trying to get power. And Lyndon Johnson, when he signed the Voting Rights and Civil Rights Act, he was talking about how they had probably lost the South for a generation, and he was right.
Yes.
Longer than that. So then we get Ronald Reagan in the 1980s, who comes up with they court the Reagan Democrats, who are all those hard-working white people who resent the brown folks getting a leg up in any way. So, they resent affirmative action. They resent black folks having jobs and cars and houses, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel like they work hard for those brown people to get welfare.
Uh-huh.
And so when Ronald Reagan came up with the welfare queen, the woman who drove 2 Cadillacs and all this other kind of stuff, that helped to drive those people into the Republican column.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, people who were union people who used to be Democrats
mm-hmm.
go to the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other thing that happened is that Reagan also managed to get the religious conservatives to come into the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so that is their coalition. They get the union members, the social and religious conservatives, and the bigots.
Mm-hmm.
So time goes on, the demographics of the country change as a black man becomes president, and even when they use all of their skills to disenfranchise voters and to scare the hell out of working class white people and all those other things, that man is still reelected.
Mm-hmm.
And he becomes one of 2 Democratic presidents. Is that it? No, I'm sorry, not Democratic presidents. One of 2 presidents who was elected to office with a majority both times.
Uh-huh.
And that scared the crap out of him.
And that has sent them into chaos.
Yeah, that scared him because the demographics of the country are only moving against them. And since they have built their coalition basically on resentful white people,
yes,
and there are just fewer of them to go around.
Yes. I mean, Jackie, and it's really sad. The chaos that they are in, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to the chaos in a minute. Okay. But so since they have Lindsey Graham said it best in the last election, in the 2012 election, we cannot create enough angry white guys to win.
That's right.
And Senator Lindsey Graham said that.
Yes.
That we must create angry white guys to win.
Mm-hmm.
Not angry white women, not angry anybody else, angry white men.
Mm-hmm.
That is their core constituency.
And they had a lot of Republicans jump ship the first time and the second time around. And I think even more jumped ship and voted for Barack Obama than before.
I really don't have any statistics.
I don't have any either, Jackie, but we know that Colin Powell and his former chief of staff jumped ship again. And then it did not help when the Republican down here in Florida, when the president dropped into his pizza shop and he picked him up and loved him and made him lovable.
Yeah. So anyway, so the Republicans realized that they had, after this election, they realized that they had a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did not win the presidency, which they thought they were going to win because they were delusional.
Okay.
They did not gain any seats in the Senate. Actually, they lost seats.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason they did not lose the House was because of the way that they had gerrymandered districts in states where the state houses are controlled by Republicans.
Uh-huh.
But, that gerrymandering thing, that cannot last forever either, because what happened, what the election showed us in reference to the House, is that Democrats collectively had more than 1 million votes more than Republicans collectively.
Mm-hmm.
So what that tells you is that the Republican Party is really in a minority position.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, after that, I have been talking for the last couple of weeks about Reince Priebus,
of course,
the chair of the Republican National Committee, who had commissioned this post-mortem, which is so bad. That is such a bad description. But he commissioned a report to study or find out why the Republicans lost so badly in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And basically the report tells them it's because you guys are, what was it? Stale, male, and pale.
and they still don't, and they don't want to hear the truth. So they are still creating chaos for themselves.
Yeah, so they needed to broaden their coalition. So now Reince Priebus and some of the Republican, quote, establishment people have really just actually taken up arms, figuratively, against these conservative Christians and the Tea Party right and libertarian wings of their own party.
Mm-hmm.
And who was it? Joe Madison described it as cannibalism.
Yes.
And so, even with, for instance, this whole gun control issue, as bad as this bill is in the Senate, and it is bad, ladies and gentlemen, don't fool yourself.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not. It won't do much. The background check thing will help.
Mm-hmm.
But the entire contents of the bill.
But their principle, Jackie, is to that's not going to help. So what you're saying is do nothing.
Yeah.
Do absolutely nothing. That's what they would like to do, and let the NRA just continue to make billions a year.
Yeah. And so that's what they would like to do, is do absolutely nothing. But this bill might help a little bit, and I guess it's something. But I'm being really belligerent about it. I think that they ought to go right at the magazine clips and all that other stuff. And when they talk about banning assault weapons, I don't think that banning assault weapons is necessarily something that they need to do. What they need to do is ban these high-capacity magazines, and Chris Rock has a suggestion about that as well.
Yeah, that's not going to help, but we are coming down to about 7 minutes left of the show, so let's have a laugh with Chris Rock, why don't we?
Yeah.
All right.
And everybody talking about gun control, gotta get rid of the guns. Fuck that, I like guns. You got a gun, you don't have to work out. I ain't working out. I ain't jogging. You got pecs, I got pecs. Oh, man, shit. You don't need no gun control. You know what you need? We need some bullet control. We need to control the bullets. That's right. I think all bullets should cost $5,000. $5,000 for a bullet. You know why? Because if a bullet costs $5,000, there'll be no more innocent bystanders. Every time somebody gets shot, you be like, damn, he must have did something. Shit, they put $50,000 worth of bullets in his ass. And people are safe before they kill somebody if a bullet costs $5,000. Man, I would blow your fucking head off if I could afford it. I'm gonna get me another job, I'm gonna start saving some money, and you a dead man. You better hope I can't get no bullets on layaway. So even if you get shot by a stray bullet, you won't have to go to no doctor to get it taken out. Whoever shot you, take their bullet back. I believe you got my property.
Yes, indeed. I believe you got my property. Chris Rock is crazy. But boy, did he bring the gun control mess home.
But that is a really good point, because without ammunition, all a gun is an expensive club.
That's right.
That's it.
And Jackie, I mean, if you just talk to them about, we want you to have a clip for your gun, but we want to limit those magazines to 10. Yeah. That's not going to help.
Yeah, it would help a whole lot.
They don't want to do anything, Jackie. They swear that universal background checking won't help either. They have just come to this is all of their points. I'm not sure that's going to help though.
Yeah.
So okay, well, do it anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. It won't hurt. So let's try that.
Yeah. So
the issue of the magazine clips in both Aurora and in Tucson.
Yeah, just do it anyhow.
The reason that when the shooting stopped was when the guys had to change their magazine.
Okay, Jackie, we've got 4 minutes left in the show. I want you to tell the story of the marathon, but let me say this real fast. Barry K. writes in the chat room, did you talk about the NRA-sponsored race where a man at the race shot himself in the head? I have not heard of this story. Have you?
Yes, I have.
Can we talk about it now, or will we have to say?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay.
There was a race in Texas at the Texas Motor Speedway, a NASCAR race, that was sponsored by the National Rifle Association, which just goes to show how very much money the NRA has, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And according to the police in Tarrant County, there was a man who shot himself to death. He shot himself in the head in the infield of the NRA 500 that took place over the weekend.
Wow.
And let me see. What was this guy's name?
People don't kill people. People don't shoot themselves. Guns shoot people.
Yeah, the incident took place in or around a pickup truck in the infield near the middle of the backstretch. So that was like in the race, okay?
Wow.
And don't you love this? Now, Texas law, where they have passed all these laws where you can carry your firearms everywhere, Texas law prohibits fans from bringing firearms to the track, though.
These son of a guns. Okay, Jackie, time is flying, and DJ David Capers is coming up at 6 o'clock. So would you please tell me?
Let me just tell you guys the origin of the word marathon.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
We all know that a marathon is a long-distance race, and the reason that it is 26.2 miles is because that is thought to be the distance that, okay, you guys, this is a Greek name. Okay, so are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
It is Phidippides, who was a Greek messenger. That is considered the distance that he ran. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The legend of Phidippides, a Greek messenger. He ran from the battlefield at Marathon to Athens, and that is considered the distance between that battlefield and Athens is about 26.2 miles, to announce that the Persians had been defeated in the Battle of Marathon, okay, in which he had just fought. Okay, and this battle took place around August or September in 490 BC. In the legend, it says that he ran the entire distance without stopping. He burst into the assembly in Athens and exclaimed, "We won." And after that, he collapsed and died.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so that is where that comes from. That is why the distance is what it is, and that is why it is called marathon.
And where did you read this, Miss?
I'm sorry?
And where did you read this?
Oh, I'm just looking, online at a history of marathon.
Oh, wow. That is a very interesting story, Jackie. Thank you so very much.
I read it. Yeah, but I read about it in school.
Yes, I figured that's why I was asking. So, do you have a Negro, please, for the week?
Do I have a Negro, please, for the week?
And if you don't, it's okay. But I would like to if you don't have one, I'd like to choose one.
Oh, go right ahead.
I choose Dr. Ben Carson for the Negro to top the Negro Please list this week.
Yes, that's a good one.
He and his brilliant, unbalanced comments and man. All right?
Yes, well, to quote one of my favorite scientists, Carl Sagan, it is possible to be absolutely brilliant and totally wrong at the same time.
And out of your dad-burn freaking mind. You have been listening to Let's Talk About It, Spreaker's most informative political talk show. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and helping me to talk about it and always helping me to keep you informed is my beautiful niece, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert. Join us here every Tuesday afternoon for our new time from 4 o'clock until 6 p.m. And look forward to having our new co-host, Barry K. Jackson, on for a little bit longer and a bit more craziness with us. And we are full of that information and craziness. We have great fun. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Join me right back here tomorrow night from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock for words of inspiration and prayer from the altar with Pastor Mitty Collier. Okay? Get your shout on and a good healthy dose. Get your soul fed. Pastor Collier is going to give you food for the soul. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday. Say bye-bye, Jackie.
Bye-bye, Jackie.
Coming up, join DJ David Capers over there on that wild train ride right here at Spreaker.com. Go get your ticket. Get on the Razor Blade Express, baby. All right, we'll see you next week.
Recognize what you don't know. There's a deeper love inside that finds us, and it's everywhere you Master's hand. In the voices of the children, in a language that